cool. Right now, I would really like to eat a cake right now, but I don't want to bake a big cake. And so, let's bake a mug cake. You heard me right. It's a cake in a mug. So let's get started. Let's get into the ingredients. Firstly, we're going to need a coffee grinder and some oats. And we're going to be needing the coffee grinder to grind the oats because we're going to be grinding them into some oat flour. And we'll also be needing some baking soda, some chocolate chips, and you could also use dark chocolate chunks. You also need a big mug for your mug cake. And then we're using some plant-based milk because this is vegan, and if you don't want to have some plant-based milk in your mug cake, you could just use normal cow milk. And you also need some maple syrup, and if you don't have maple syrup, you could use sugar. And lastly, we need some cocoa powder. I'll start with grinding the oats in the coffee grinder to make oat flour. This is how the oat flour looks like. It kind of looks like normal flour, except it's with oats. Since this is a big mug, I will be adding 10 tablespoons of oat flour into it. First, we're going to be adding the dry ingredients. And so after we add the oat flour, we're going to add 3 pinches of baking soda and 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And now you have to give it a good mix. As we're done with the dry ingredients, now let's move on to the wet ingredients. You have to add 10 tablespoons of your milk and 3 tablespoons of your maple syrup or sugar. Now I'm going to be adding the maple syrup, 3 tablespoons. And now I'm going to be adding the milk. Make sure you mix it with no lumps, and you should have this consistency, very smooth. And so now we add the chocolate chunks. We have only filled the cake batter to about half the mug so that the cake has enough room to rise. I'm going to toss this into the microwave for about 2 minutes. if the cake is good, well baked or not. So I'm going to use a fork for that. I'm just going to stick it in all the way. And then you see almost nothing is on this spoon or fork. And so that means it's well baked. Now I'm going to call my brother for a test taste as we did another cake in the meantime. Now it's time